And we're in all of this as DE&I, diversity, inclusion, and exemplary action disappeared too. Is this issue gone from the tables of the ICGN in favor of the ES and Gs, or where's it gone?
No, absolutely not. No, of course not. So I think DEI, it will always be a mainstay issue for ICGN. We are actually about to announce, well, I'm announcing now that we're updating our guidance on gender diversity. And I think you've got some updated rules coming into your home market on DEI.
We do. We're up over 30% on the major listed corporations. So we're going to have to rename the 30% club the 50% club, I think.
Right. Okay.
Our federal government agencies, boards, and commissions have all reached 50%. So it's been a great leadership example in this country that I think is encouraging a lot of companies to move a lot faster.
Excellent. And of course, it's very different depending on what market you're in. I know a lot of investors these days talk about 40-40-20 being a kind of pragmatic, kind of ideal goal.
Yeah.
But it really depends on the nature of the company and the market. I mean, what I would say about DEI is however you play it, it's always important to think about your corporate purpose, succession planning, and how the DEI policy then is used in your whole new board candidate selection process.
Yes.
Because, together with the skills matrix, so having a DEI policy is one thing, but putting it into practice and making it a useful tool is another. And I think so long as it's always linked to your company purpose and your long-term strategic direction, succession planning, it can be really helpful when the nomination for the board process begins.
It certainly goes well beyond the board nominations. I think having gender parity at a board level would be the desired state, at least gender parity, and because that's going to trickle down right through the corporation. The tone at the top is going to reflect the tone all the way through the company. So,
and you've hit the nail on the head there, because actually a lot of the focus now is on the executive suite, right, and making sure that we have appropriate diversity through the ranks.
But we've always here in North America pretty well been comply or explain. So when I talk to my classes in the director's education program about, do you want to get to the 50% quota of women by quota? The answer generally comes back, no, I don't want to be quotaized. I don't want to be chosen because of my gender. I want to be chosen because of my skill set and my capabilities. So we've never had this forceful, you must do this stuff. It's all been comply or explain. And I just wonder with the sustainability initiatives coming out, we must disclose now. So this is not an enjoining for activity, but a requirement to maintain your listing. Is it in Europe?
Yeah, look, when we talk about sustainability as well, I would just like to emphasize that sustainability is simply not achievable without having the governance right in the first place.
Yeah.
So let's not lose sight of that. There's lots of discussion about sustainability, but exactly how do you define it, David? We all perhaps have a slightly different interpretation of sustainability. I'm on a bit of a back to basics campaign at the moment and reminding everybody that, look, can we please, there's still a lot of work to do on governance in many markets. Actually, I think Canadian governance standards are pretty good, but there is a lot of work to do on governance. So keep focused on that, but also recognize that there are actually some quick wins in the sustainability reporting space. If you think about human capital management, companies will already have a lot of data on what we've just been talking about, DEI, statistics on that, the degree to which there are promotions within the ranks of females, employee motivation by looking at retention rates. So you've already got a lot of good stuff. So it's thinking about how to communicate that to investors. It's not necessarily data that you don't have.
Yeah.
I'd recommend you take a look at the Human Capital Management Coalition. It's a great group in the US, which engage frequently with the SEC. So you may know that the US SEC now has a rule to requiring companies to disclose their human capital management objectives.
Okay.
And so I feel like the HCM movement, is one area that I think companies could make progress on quite easily.
Mm-hmm.